Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 103 and today I just want to start off by saying I really hope you enjoyed the previous episode of Hermitcraft. The one where we did the crazy 360-degree video using the replay mod. I had a ton of fun making that thing, even if it did take me hours. It took me ages. Okay, I was planning on having that day off. That was the plan. I was going to have that day off. We were going to shoot some bits for the vlogging channel. But it ended up taking about 15 hours to get that video to work due to my editing software just not accepting the files at all. And when it finally did accept the files, it said it was going to take 140 hours to render out the video, which, well, to be frankly honest, I didn't have. Okay, I didn't have 140 hours to wait. So I had to do a ton of problem solving. I had to download new editing software and everything like that. Finally, we managed to get it up and running, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And also, we managed to shoot the video for the vlogging channel on the Sunday. There'll be a link to that one on the screen and also down in the description. Once again, it is an awesome video, and it was shoot with my new camera, which is in 4K. So that is the first 4K vlog I've ever done, and I have to say, I think it looks pretty amazing. But anyway, in today's episode of Hermitcraft, we're going to be doing a bunch of really awesome things. We're going to be working in the industrial district, but before we do, nope. 1 diamond, yes. Okay, so we have got at least 4 diamonds there. Fantastic, alright. Okay, so we managed to get 5 diamonds in total from the bookstore, taking our total up to 29 diamonds for the past, what, 3 or 4 days? That's completely ridiculous. So I've just been very swiftly reminded that this is currently running on Minecraft 1.11. That literally released the other day. The Hermitcraft server has been updated, and by the look of things, the hermits have been busy. We've got some llamas in the nether hub, and that means that there's shulker boxes. We can get the shulker boxes from the end. Ooh, that might be a fun thing to try and do towards the end of today's episode. But these things look fantastic. We've got the observer block. That's just clicked in my head. Oh my word. There are so many redstone contraptions that I can build. Right, let's pop back over to the base because we've got a ton of things to do. So first things first, we need to fix up this fella right here. Hopefully that will change everything up. He won't die, which is brilliant, and he will go back to being happy, which is absolutely fantastic. And now we are going to start work on the new project in the industrial district, which is going to be my nether wart farm. As you guys know, I recently built these potion brewing stations, and of course to get all of the potions in here, we need nether wart. Now we have got a nether wart farm right the way off in the distance, but I thought it'd be a fun thing to work on in this base area right here. So as you can see, we've got this little square that we can use for the space. In fact, it goes right the way across there. And hopefully we can create a slim but very deep nether wart farm with plenty of layers that will be automatically harvested using water. I think it seems like a pretty cool idea, but I am going to have to do some quick designing in my redstone testing world. So here is the design that we're going to be constructing on the Hermitcraft server. Now this is pretty similar to the one that was designed by Cubfan that's in the orange district, I do believe. Basically, up at the top here, we've got some water that will flow down, covering all of the platforms like this. So it will run across like this, then drop down here, then go across in this direction, then go across in this direction, pushing all of the nether wart down into the bottom. Now, I haven't actually tested this yet, but hopefully it should all work. So you can see the water goes down, and then it goes across there, and then it sort of snakes through the entire system until it reaches the end, and this is where all of the nether wart will drop down. And I don't know if I'm going to have hoppers yet, or if I'm just going to have like a manual collection area. But in theory, this should end up working really quite nicely. And as you can see, it's really compact. There's going to be tons upon tons of layers. And most importantly, tons upon tons of nether wart. My haste 2 beacon is back up and running. We have got a ton of mining to do in this location. And I'm thinking we need to go down maybe 30, potentially even 40 blocks here. You know, I don't really know. I don't know how big I want this nether wart farm to be. I just sort of want it to be monstrous. And because I'm a total moron, of course, I've constructed my beacon just out of range of this area here. I don't get haste 2 in this location. I mean, I just worry about myself sometimes. Honestly, I've sort of lost count of how many levels I've gone down. I've just been mining whilst watching YouTube videos. I think I've still got a long way to go. And here we go. This is the space that I've cleared out. This should be plenty of room to make way for all of the soul sand. I think this should be enough to make around about 10 layers of the nether wart farm. So 10 layers of soul sand, and they're going to be making their way all the way up like this. And our water is going to zigzag down there. And then all of the nether wart is going to go into the hoppers. And I guess you might have to make an item elevator to transport those items off into our storage system. But for now, I actually need quite a large quantity of soul sand. That's something that I hadn't really thought of, but we are going to need tons upon tons of the stuff. So I'm going to pop into the nether with my shovel, and we've got quite a bit of clearing to do. But before we do any of that, it is the standard gear repairing session. I actually have quite a lot of gear that is running low at the minute, so I think we're going to have to do like a full repair-all mission. I think I've found the perfect location for soul sand. I am absolutely blasting through here. I don't have any fire resistance potions whatsoever, and I don't even have a boat on me. So I am definitely in a little bit of trouble, especially if any form of blaze or ghast comes up to me. But right now, I'm getting tons upon tons of the stuff. I think I've got a bunch of stacks here. You know what? This might just about cover us for the entire farm. Sweet. So all of the soul sand has now been gathered up. As you can see, we've got a bunch of it left in my inventory. And I have already started work on placing in our platforms. So these are the platforms that are going to sort of zigzag through this entire giant hole right here. And one thing that I have just realised is obviously this farm is enormous, okay? It's a gigantic farm. I might not always want to harvest the entire thing, because then of course I have to replant the entire thing, and that's a massive pain in the backside. So what I thought I'd do is leave a little bit of space in this section right here to allow us to have multiple different buttons, which allows us to harvest multiple different areas of the farm. So say for example, we only want to harvest like a quarter of it, then we can just do that. We press one of the different buttons, and that's basically the way that this thing is going to work. But for now, I have got a lot of soul sand to place in. We have got 2 of the layers, and I do believe we have another 7 to go. And believe it or not, guys, all of the soul sand is pretty much all in place. And there we go. That right there was the final platform. So we have got a bunch of massive layers of soul sand. I haven't actually counted them yet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers in total. Now, I don't actually know how big these things are. I think they're 14 blocks long, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks wide. So if someone wants to do the maths to work out how much nether wart I'm going to get from this thing, that would be greatly appreciated. But now what we have to do is we have to work out, A, how all of the redstone is going to work, how we're going to do the water dispensing, B, apparently fall down to the bottom, and C, work out how we're actually going to pick up all of these items and transport them anywhere. And as per usual, we have got absolutely no cobblestone. We've got loads of stone, but we don't have any cobblestone. And of course, you can't craft a dispenser with smooth stone, which means that we're going to have to go mining for the stuff. I can't believe episode 103, we're going to have to go out mining for cobblestone. It seems ridiculous. Also, if anyone knows where my cobble breaker pickaxe is, that would be greatly appreciated. I can't seem to find it. I thought that was it, but apparently that's not quite it. I have completely lost my non-silk touch efficiency 5 pickaxe. This looks promising. This looks very promising. Right, okay, we've got smooth stone. Smooth stone. Oh, come on. There's got to be cobblestone. None. And by the look of things, none. What? If it's called Cobble Shop, why are they only selling smooth stone? Ah, that really got my hopes up then. I so thought we were onto a winner. Finally, I've managed to locate the cobblestone breaker. It was actually inside the back cave. Must have been where I was working on that armor stand area that I was doing. So I am now in the process of taking out a huge area of cobblestone. Just right the way over here with my haste 2 beacon. I hopefully should be able to get enough stuff, but by the look of things, I've been a complete moron, and I've started using my silk touch pickaxe instead. Honestly, my brain isn't working properly today, just bear that in mind. Now, I know it may not look like much has changed in the previous few clips, but I've actually just been planning out and working out what we're going to be doing for this entire farm. So what I've done is I have created a 3/3 system. So these dispensers right here, if you activate these dispensers, you'll get the full enchilada, alright? You'll get the full thing, the entire farm will harvest, and it will work really wonderfully. And I'm going to try my best not to fall down that hole right there, because that could have been painful. But then the next section is slightly further down. You can see we've got a bunch of dispensers down here, and that will do around about half of the farm. And then right the way down at the very bottom, I don't actually know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but right the way down there you can see we've got another set of dispensers. If you activate those, you get the bottom third of the design. So essentially you have like a toggleable, how much nether wart do you really need for this situation? Just hit that button and you'll get that much. I hope that makes sense. So now what we have to do is create an input system for it, which is going to involve a few levers, a few buttons, and a few pulse extenders as well. Now this is the system that I've created. I have no idea if I've gone over the top with the redstone here, but as you can see we've got quite a large number of redstone components going on. We've got a pulse extender up at the top here, which runs into a dual edge monostable circuit, which goes down into this redstone right here, which makes its way up into this little selection area. So essentially, you select one of these pistons, for example, you select this one, and that means that half of the farm would be harvesting, for example, and then when you hit this button, we'll get a quick pulse through that repeater right there, which of course would dispense out the water, and then once this pulse finishes, we'll get another quick pulse through that repeater, meaning that the water will be retracted from those dispensers. That is the idea. That's how it's meant to work. Hopefully that will function with our farm design. So the redstone that I designed it in the previous clip is now all fully constructed on the Hermitcraft server. So up at the top here we've got our pulse extender, that then goes into our dual edge monostable circuit. Then down at the bottom here we have got our different redstone lines which run up into our selector panel that make their way into these levers right here. So say for example we flick this lever, that piston will extend, and that means that we're going to be getting an output through this repeater right here. Now, I think the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to hook up this piston right here, so this furthest over lever, into these sets of dispensers, just because that seems to make sense. And I'm probably going to have to take the redstone through here, past all of this, then back through into that room. To be honest with you, I hadn't actually thought this far ahead. Maybe we're going to have to do some slightly ugly redstone here and have it traveling across like that. Or it could run through this block. This actually could be a bit of a challenge. Number 1 has been completed, number 2 has just been finished, so I'm going to flick that lever right there and give this thing a bash. And yes, that is the noise that we want to hear. That is the noise of empty dispensers firing, which means that when we fill them up with water, they will fire, and that will work perfectly. So now we only have one set of dispensers left to go before this entire thing is fully functional, amazingly enough. So believe it or not guys, our nether wart farm is now fully functional. I honestly can't believe how fast that has been, but there are a few little things that have to be done, and they're sort of like the little tasks that I've left to the end. The actual farm itself, all of the redstone mechanics are completed, but we have to do the decorating. So for example, this area right here all needs to be filled in with sandstone going right the way down to the bottom. We also need to make sure that we cover up all of that redstone there, because otherwise that redstone on top of those dispensers will be taken out, and that won't be particularly good. Then we need to fill in all of the dispensers with water, and finally actually get all of the nether wart in place so that we can harvest this thing. So that's the plan of action at this point in time. I think the first thing I'm going to do is all the pretty bits. Look guys, I've finally managed to get some friends on the Hermitcraft server. Somehow a giant slime has managed to spawn in my nether wart farm, and this is what's left over. I think I might try my best to keep them around for the rest of the episode. Let's see how well that goes. Oh my word, I just got absolutely obliterated. And the farm is completely destroyed as well. I don't think I have been killed by a creeper quite like that in a very long time indeed. My word. Look at the size of the hole that thing has created. Right, let's make sure that I've got all the essentials here. So we've got the pickaxes. I had both my pickaxes on me. I can see my helmet up at the top there. And my elytra. Right, fantastic. That was the main thing that I was concerned about here. So we've got all the armor. I don't think I had too much more than that on me. We've got my sword over there. But my word, that thing was brutal. Look at that. Oh, I've got to rebuild the entire farm now. Pretty much starting from the beginning. The nether wart farm is now looking lovely. We've got ourselves a really nice looking farming area here. Look, we can see we've got all the sandstone. We've got the red hardened clay. You guys recognize all of these block types because of course we are in the industrial district. And as you can see, we've also got this ladder going down to the bottom with all of the layers on it. So what we have to do is drop down a layer, and then we can replant all of our nether warts. Then we go down onto the next layer and make our way across just a little bit like that. And basically do that a bunch of times until the entire farm is fully replenished, which I have no idea how long that's going to take. Okay, I have absolutely no clue. I guess we'll find out once we harvest this thing for the first time. So now we just have to get the water for all of the dispensers, and now all of the nether wart as well. But before that, we just need to chuck in a roof on top of this thing, and you guys know the drill. We have got some glass. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have too much of the stuff, so I've just put a few stacks of sand into the super smelter, and hopefully that should just about cover it. I personally think that filling dispensers with water buckets is actually one of the most boring tasks you can do in Minecraft. I mean, there's literally nothing exciting about it. Especially on soul sand, so you can't even move fast. This is literally the most boring thing you can do in Minecraft. Let me know if you think there's other things. Oh no, 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 no. Yep. I totally should have lit this place up. Why on earth? Why are there so many creepers down here? There's another one there. I thought things couldn't spawn on soul sand. Right, let's light this up. That was, yeah, pretty bad. Can we just take a moment to admire the size of the hole created by that creeper explosion? Honestly, what is up with the creepers in here? It's like they're, I don't know, it's like they're strapped up with TNT as well. I actually give up. I seriously, what? Oh, and there's more, right. Why did I not light this up in the first place? Oh yeah, I remember. It's because mobs shouldn't be able to spawn on soul sand. They don't spawn on soul sand. I guess they're just spawning on the other blocks. They're making their way into the system. Good news, everyone. The farm is now fully completed. Everything is watertight, so no water should be able to flow out of the farm. I've also covered up any holes in the edges of the farm, which means that hopefully no mobs should be able to spawn in here. Everything has also been fully lit up so that nothing can spawn, which is good. All of the dispensers have been filled in with water buckets. I'll quickly make sure that these ones have been as well. All of the dispensers have been connected into the redstone system, so that should be all good. Yeah, I think we have finally managed to come together and finish this thing. Now, I have to say, I was not expecting this to take as long as it did. I thought this would be quite a small little project that we could do in the first half of the episode, but no, it's taken up my full recording time right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off to the other netherwart farm. I'm going to pick up some netherwart, chuck that into this farm, and then leave it to grow overnight. Seriously, what is going on up there? Helicopters all over the place. It's like they're doing some form of like aerobatics above my house. It's mental. So this right here is the ridiculous netherwart farm that we have on the server built by Cubfan. And I think I'm going to do a quarter harvest, side button half harvest, full button full harvest. I think there's a quarter button harvest. And that's this one over here. So yeah, let's hit that button. And we should see that all of the water will pour down and it will take out a bunch of netherwarts. I mean, that's what's meant to happen, and there it is. Wow, okay, so all of that popped off, and we should be able to pick up all this stuff. 700 netherwart is going to be more than enough for me. So then I've got to pick up this, and then replant it all. I really do wish that all farms in Minecraft were fully automatic. I mean, imagine how good it would be if we could have a fully automatic netherwart farm. In fact, I think it's the only one that isn't fully automated, because, of course, you can get villagers to do the carrots and potatoes and the wheat. Are there any others? There's no other farms in Minecraft that can't be fully automated other than netherwart. Mojang, you know what to do. And the farm has been pretty much all filled back in. Let's just place in the final few netherwart here. And as you can see from my inventory, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stacks of netherwart. Fingers crossed that is going to be enough to fill in my entire farm, because now, believe it or not, what I have to do is exactly what I've just done here, aka placing a bunch of netherwart, but I have to do it in my own farm. And there it is, the farm is pretty much all filled in, the final few netherwart making their way in right now, and there we go. So we have got a bunch of layers of netherwart going through. I actually had to pick up some extra netherwart from my storage system to fill this thing in, but it's looking good. It is looking good. Now, I have to say, as I mentioned earlier on in the episode, I thought this was going to be a really small redstone project, something that we could do in like half the episode, but collecting the resources, all of the setbacks with the creepers and things like that has caused a massive amount of hassle for me. A huge amount of hassle, but I think we've just about got there, and we've managed to create a really awesome farm. I mean, this thing is going to be epic once we get it up and running, but for now, I need to leave this thing overnight so that all of this can grow, so we can do a full harvest in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into the AFK fish farm, and I'm going to see how many resources I can get overnight. Of course, fish farms were nerfed in Minecraft 1.11, but they appear to still be working, sort of. Ish. I think. I mean, it looks like it's still working. I think I just caught a fish. No, it doesn't look like I did. Oh, I did! Oh, I caught an enchanted book as well. Okay, so that is the fix that we're going to have to do. Let's quickly take a look at the redstone and see what's going on here. Alright. So guys, I've got some bad news. I just popped back into the studio to find my AFK fishing computer up there with a pop-up on the screen that had stopped me from AFK fishing. Essentially, I do AFK fishing on my other computer on the other side of the room, just so that I can use the internet and things like that on my main computer, because of course when you're AFK fishing, you have to be right-clicking the entire time, and that means that you can't really do anything else on the computer. And yeah, basically what's happened is that a pop-up had come up on the other computer that seems to be riddled with just junk on it. Okay, there's loads of rubbish programs on there, and that has stopped me from AFK fishing. So I'm going to pop down to the bottom, and I'm going to see if we managed to get a large quantity of items. Hopefully we did. Hopefully the new technique is fully functional. So let's take a look. Right, okay. That definitely looks like we've got a few more. We've definitely got a few more items in there. That's good. Now the question is, did we get many more? How did that happen? This is meant to be non-stackable items only. Anyway, we'll look past that. Alright, okay, so we've got one enchanted book. A handful more enchanted books. Good, excellent. Okay, so it looks like the new design is fully functional, and it is still working. So we still have AFK fish farms in Minecraft 1.11. It's just a shame about my rubbish computer. But the one thing that doesn't work in Minecraft 1.11 is translocation piston elevators. They have now been removed. So I now have no way to get out from the bottom of my base up to the top. Thankfully, though, I seem to have a bunch of ladders on me, which I don't normally have. So I'm just going to have to chuck all these in, and we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, this is starting to get annoying now. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that translocation would be such a big deal? I guess this is going to be the only official way to get out of the Nether Hub now. All of the enchanted books have been transferred over. The Jumble bookstore is now fully restocked. There shouldn't be any holes here. And we have got a full set of enchanted books back in store. And also we got 2 diamonds. So once again, I think that takes our total up to 31 diamonds for the past couple episodes from the Jumble Books bookstore, which is pretty impressive. But anyway, we now have to pop back through to the base because, of course, our nether wart farm really needs harvesting. So, here comes the moment of truth. Does this thing actually work? We've got nether warts throughout the entire farm. It's all fully planted. Now let's just flick this lever right here, which means we've selected the top section. Okay, we're going to be harvesting all of it. And here goes. Right. That was a good start. That was a very good start. All of the nether warts is going across. It is all looking good. I am a tiny bit concerned about how slow it's moving, because as you can see, yeah, the water's been removed. We might need to do a slightly different system there, because as you can see, some of the nether wart gets left behind. Not too much. There's a lot more on this layer though. Oh, that is such a bummer. Okay, so by the look of things, we are going to have to fix up some of the redstone right here. Maybe make a few changes to the way this thing runs. But other than that, this has actually worked perfectly. But I am a tiny bit concerned because, oh dear, I've just realised something. I haven't put an auto collection system in. There's no hoppers down at the bottom. That's something that I completely forgot to do. And I already have far more stacks of nether wart than I was expecting to have. Which means that there is a chance that we're not actually going to be able to pick up all of this nether wart right here. Which means that there is also a chance that a lot of it is going to despawn. Because as you can see already, I already almost have a full inventory of the stuff. So we filled up my whole inventory before we got to the bottom. And now we have just got a few more stacks left to go. So we had around about 6 stacks left, I do believe, 6.5 stacks. which isn't too bad. I mean, that's a pretty good harvest from this farm right here. So of course, in the next episode, what we're going to have to do is fix up the redstone timing systems and basically get rid of the whole pulse extender or extend out the pulse. That's the first plan. Then we also need to hook it up into the storage system and make sure that all of our nether warts actually makes it to the correct location. And then we also need to work out a few other things to do with the farm. But unfortunately, ladies and gents, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.